Alright, we're back with another walkthrough. This one isn't a high kill game like the last video, but instead this is all about smart positioning, timing, and playing your role effectively. In this one we're running support class and breakthrough on Siege of Cairo, and we're using the AK-205. And just a quick shout out to Patched Up Gaming for this recommendation. Definitely go check out his channel if you haven't already. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. But yeah, he sent me this loadout and it really paid off. So this round ends up being a bit of a landslide for our team where a bunch of us have a great game, but there are some really solid moments throughout, especially when it comes to holding positions, picking some good times to push, and ultimately just staying alive. So in the end, I finished with 28 kills, only 4 deaths, so that's a plus 7 KD. But really, this is a great example of how you can have a high impact game without chasing kills. So let's get into it. Okay, like I mentioned, we're rocking the support class. And before I get into the gun specifics, I'll talk about the general loadout. So we have the defibs, obviously for the revives. We're trying to stress in this game. And we're using the smokes for those covers, for the pushes, to help with the defibs. I have the frag grenade. And then, like always, I have the combat melee knife just for speed and maneuverability, trying to rush in and push objectives and revives. So again, for the gun, we have the AK-205 as recommended from Patched Up Gaming. This is the loadout he sent over. So for the scope, we have the Baker 3X. I switched the violet laser. Can't really go wrong here. This just helps with the aim down sight accuracy. We have the double port brake, the prototype barrel, the 6H64 vertical, the 40 round fast mag, and some penetration rounds. So let's get into the gameplay. Alright, so we get started here pretty quick. I mean, because it's breakthrough, you know, they're pushing up, we're pushing up at the exact same time. But probably the biggest takeaway you'll see from this round is obviously only 4 deaths, and that's not really by accident. You'll notice I try to disengage when the fights look bad, try not to overextend, avoid unnecessary risks. You know, staying alive really helps your team establish a foothold. It gives you just overall more time impacting the game, more consistent pressure. You're just fewer times resetting. And I feel like a lot of players lose that effectiveness just by dying too often and pushing at the wrong times. Obviously easier said than done, but that just comes with practice, really. So you'll see moments here like just now where I wait before pushing, but then let enemies expose themselves and then move as my teammates also apply that pressure, just to kind of add that additional pressure that might be needed to break through. No pun intended there. So good timing turns his average plays into strong ones sometimes. But yeah, you'll see. So here I'm just kind of being patient, you know, get this initial capture. Oftentimes with these breakthrough rounds, you'll notice, you know, you'll capture one because your entire team pushes one just by accident. And then as you try to push over to that other objective, you lose this one. So it's kind of a balance between knowing when to kind of hold your ground and play defense once you've captured something versus trying to push over and help and play offense on the other objective. So right here, I'm just trying to play my role. Of course, I'm support and we have limited tickets, so every death does matter. And one of the key points I always stress, and especially in my other 2 videos, is positioning. So you'll notice right there, I got out of position, pretty exposed there. I could have stayed behind cover and had less of a target for that guy to shoot at. And, you know, also just hit your shots. I missed pretty much every shot there. And so as we're using this AK-205 from Patched Up Gaming, it really shines in this mid-range and even some long range. So a little bit different than obviously the SMG gameplay. Then again, a lot of guns in this game are pretty much lasers. But, you know, see right there, it doesn't shine as well close-up. But still, this thing's a laser from that mid to far range, which was a great recommendation from him.
I need a fucking medic!
And so with that in mind, I kind of try to adjust my game style. It also goes nicely with the support class where you're not necessarily the first one always pushing. You're kind of waiting back. Sometimes you're pushing when your teammates push, but you're really just trying to hold the ground, keep everyone alive, and kind of pick off people in the back. That's usually the way I like to play support. So here we're kind of, you'll notice, not really focusing on A, but what we're really doing is kind of pushing that boundary of B a bit further. Instead of just sitting on the objective, playing defense, you can actually almost add a bit of offense to that defense. So we're pushing the lineup a little bit, trying to keep this B under control while the rest of the team focuses on A. And so this puts a lot of pressure on the spawn for this defending team. So they might be trying to push back into B, but we just have this line push so far back, it's hard for them to reestablish a foothold. So yeah, now I'm just trying to kind of consider not a lot of progress is being made over at A, and there's not a lot of pressure actually at B from the enemy. So I'm considering trying to reposition here, get a good view, see whether or not it's worth it to go push over to A. And that's kind of the theme of this video, is really balancing when's the right time to make a push, to play back defense, to play offense, when to push a support. So I judged the situation. I figured there wasn't a lot of pressure again on B, so let's go push A and see what we can do. A lot of teammates down over there in the corner, so I'm gonna try to put some pressure over there. Yeah, you can see people down here. Get that nice hip fire. Just recover for a second, see if we can get those revives still. There we go. That guy helped out anyways. Again, people often get mad with not getting revives, but it is also about timing there. So I obviously had every intention of reviving them, but you also need to protect yourself, because if you die, you can't revive them. So it's kind of a balance. I know people get frustrated when they're sitting there not getting revived, but it is a balance there. So yeah, you can see that push was fruitful, captured the sector moving forward. And now here I'm just trying to get some positioning, not super exposed. I am kind of exposing my head and upper body, which isn't great, but just trying to get an idea. This corridor becomes pretty much a bottleneck on breakthrough. And if you remember for some of my other videos, I discuss, one of the biggest components to improving on these different game modes is just playing the same map multiple times over and over, and really understanding where those common choke points are. And once you establish that, you can really minimize your deaths and improve your KD. Because right there, you might have said, oh, we got the sector, let's push forward. But they have that pretty locked down, and you just get mowed down if you run out there. You see all our teammates just got mowed down. So instead, I'm going to try to just kind of see if I can pick off some people here. See, the enemy themselves are also just kind of sprinting out. Got a sniper.
Let's move.
Just trying to find out where he is. Yeah, he's poked out there. So again, another component here, like I mentioned, is learning when to disengage. So I obviously wasn't going to win that fight. Trying to provide some smoke cover to see if some people will push up. Let's see if we can get this revive. And so yeah, this guy pushed up. Now we have a new foothold. So it's really just about moving up and minimizing how many deaths you take in the process. So I probably could have pulled that guy to cover. I was more worried about myself there, so I was trying to just revive him and hope that the trash can gave him enough cover. I see often people who play support with those really quick defibs, they just kind of, they'll just spam it and they'll revive you when you're in the middle of tons of fire, and it doesn't really do much because you die instantly once you're brought back. Or you might even be on fire and they decide to revive you. So it's really about timing there too, and positioning. You can see on that last one I poked out, I got a little aggressive. I should have kind of kept that angle a little better. But our teammates had a really good position there, so we're able to spawn right on A. And we take that sector pretty handily. So this team I'm working with here is also doing a good job playing their roles, pushing, pretty aggressive. That also helps, obviously. So just checking to make sure there aren't any stragglers. You notice the sector's not pushing forward, so there's still some people back here. Again, another choke point here. Yeah, people like to sit in that second story window when we're pushing into the next sector. So just being a little patient. Try to get this revive with the smokes. And then get out of there. They're just throwing a lot of explosives in there. No point just sitting there. Again, trying to lay down smoke. When you have a good team, they'll take advantage of it. So if you lay down the smoke and you create an alley that they can go through unseen, you'll notice a lot of people will take it. There, no one really took it. There's still too much kind of gunfire coming down the alley, so no one wanted to risk it. But that's kind of how you can make those pushes. When you can sense there's a lot of people just kind of hanging out on a choke point, you can shoot some smokes in there and try to get them to push. So now they're pushing. I'm going to add a little bit of smoke cover. Seems like we're fine. Now we're pushing through. Trying to sneak up in here into A. Our team's already here. And just watching one of the common angles again. So this, again, just comes with practice, playing these maps enough, playing on the same game modes enough, and you'll learn where people like to sneak through. Really just hard scoping here, making sure no one sneaks around. You saw a few team deaths there, so someone's down there. And then they like to sneak around, so you can't forget about these other kind of flanking alleyways. So here I'm minimizing my exposure. I had to go out there to get the revive. There's nowhere to really drag him, so I just revived him in place. So that guy tried to minimize exposure, but the lean wall, the wall lean kind of exposes you a little bit too much. So I'm not too sure where that's coming from. The audio is kind of all over the place. Oh yeah, there's a guy up there, and I didn't see him. But that was good on his part. He minimized his exposure. I barely saw his head poke out. And I was just sitting out in the open. Yeah, starting 15-1, already, what is it, 2 or 3 sectors in. So yeah, you can see it's turning into a landslide. But we had good team and we have good positioning, so it's been going our way. This one's always a bit tough. There are a lot of flanks and choke points here on this sector, so it's really about just a bit of randomness with your team if you can kind of coordinate parallel efforts on A and B. Oftentimes you go all in on one and then you can't really coordinate the other. So yeah, we lost A just like that. And now because they just captured A, you know, oftentimes once you capture an objective, everyone pushes up, which is what I'm seeing. The entire team is pushing up, so I'm just hanging back, not running in there. There's no point. I don't have much team support. But I'm still trying to hold this line a little bit. It's the best as I can. It's just chaotic right now. Get some better positioning upstairs. Patience. And I didn't see this guy. Yeah, they really just pushed from all angles there, from the other back alley as well. So in the meantime, we captured B. That's great. Now you can see some of our squad mates are pushing over to A. So I'm going to try to spawn on him and try to apply pressure. I find oftentimes with this sector, playing defense doesn't always help. It's kind of just speed and momentum here. So yeah, I saw this guy on the minimap. So it's really trying to push over and take A as quick as possible. Again, this is more luck and by chance with your team if they can coordinate or not, but you can do your part based on what class you're playing as and try to maximize that push. So again, not just running out, trying to observe. I'm gonna get that revive, even though it's kind of a terrible revive. He might. Oh, he got up. He got up. Good chance he would have just died there on the spot, but I didn't have much I could do for him. Try to push over. All right, our team got that revive. Yeah, now we're all just kind of under fire here. So just trying to stay alive. Some miraculously and got out of that. So with the new update, I'll be curious to see how the defibs behave now that we have limited charges that have to reload over time, so you can't just spam it. I think that's good overall for gameplay. I'm kind of abusing the spamming of it in this match. It should be a little bit more tactile. So here I kind of felt the pressure from that other side alley, so I'm just going to try to reset a different angle here. I don't see anyone, but I had some suspicions they were pushing back through here. Again, this is just map knowledge from playing multiple times on this map, on this game mode.
Take what you can carry.
Just being patient for him to push. Yeah, he knows I'm here. He pushed with his grenade. Not sure why he did that.
Let's go.
Okay, so you can tell we're kind of at a stalemate here. So my thought process is we got to make a push here pretty soon. This is one of those key moments where I'm letting my smokes recharge. You can tell people are a little antsy to push. Everyone's kind of facing that alley. There goes a guy. He's throwing some C4s down. So I'm going to place down some smoke, see if anyone takes it. Yep, there he goes, there he goes. Put another one down, see who goes. Another one. See, and sometimes that's all it takes. There's a good push. Now, just like that, we got 4 people on the objective. Now my mindset here is just stay back in the back corner. Don't die. Try to pick off some people to minimize the pressure on the rest of our teammates. And just to try to stay alive. So I'm just holding this angle for, yep, people sneaking in. There's one. And just like that, you see, it's just really picking your time. You know, no one really gets credit for that. Like, I don't take credit for us capturing that sector, but you can tell people were antsy to push through, and you kind of recognize that. You lay down some smoke, and then just like that, your whole team pushes, and people get some clutch kills, and you move the sector forward. So yeah, we're in second place right now. There's some other guy on our team absolutely shredding kills. Here I'm just trying to minimize my exposure. I'm in kind of a bad spot. Try to get this guy under cover. We're both in bad spots, so let's see how this ends up. Tell they're sitting up here on the second balcony. And also this alleyway. So this is just a bad spot to be in overall. They have a little bit of a flank on the left if they want. Let's see if I get caught. Baiting getting that revive, but I think I'll just die in the process. Oh, I died anyways. Yeah, they snuck back around. So I'm gonna try to spawn on my squad mates. They have pretty good positioning. See if we can help them stay alive as well. We can put pressure. Yeah, so I spawned. I should have gone upstairs with him. But our teammates come in with the support here, so let's see if they can get the revive. They do. Oh. They have a pretty good foothold, so I think I can respawn on them. That was a bad call on my part, though. You see, I got a little trigger happy. I should have just gone upstairs and played it safe. So we have a really strong foothold here, right back against their spawn. They're not going to be able to do much there. They're going to have to push from the other side. Yeah, they're trying to get us out of here because it's not going to end up well for them. Just checking downstairs, make sure no one sneaks up. Sometimes the audio is still not great, so you also need to visually check. Just being patient. This guy runs out, gets the revive, get the extra kill. The only issue with this spot is obviously we're not capturing the objective. We can put pressure on as long as we want, but if the rest of our team isn't pushing the objective, it really doesn't do much. So I'm just kind of playing this out, seeing if this helps the rest of our team. We'll see here in a second that not a lot of progress is being made, so we push back over.
Eyes on a machine gun.
So that guy's pretty exposed. I don't think I'll be able to get the revive on him. Okay, yeah, so we're not pushing up too much, so we're going to push up on the objective as well. Get a good angle here. That was a little exposed. I'm going to take a more roundabout approach. Lay down some smoke just so we can get up here on the plateau. Again, keep everyone alive, obviously. I'm always sliding and jumping to cover. You know, it's all about minimizing that exposure, so that includes how you move, not just where you stand. So I'm hopping, I'm sliding, I'm jumping into cover, never really walking or running straight up when you're not behind cover. And that'll really help reduce your exposure and how much hit damage you're taking. So they're making a strong push right here, but we still have numbers. And just like that, it keeps fluctuating about 50-50. Now we're losing it a bit. But now I'm just trying to hold my ground. Hope that our teammates can push forward. See if I can get a few kills. So I got a few there. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this one. Leave a comment down below if you found this format of video useful, or if you have any tips that have helped you improve along the way. As always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Be sure to spread some positivity, and I'll see you in the next one.